Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a very interesting show set up for you. Yep, it's time for the Week 7 comparison. I'm going to take a look at Nico versus Joey again. We've been doing this on a regular basis. Now, it says Week 7. There's only been 6 games because we both had byes or have had a bye. Now, after the first 4 games, this thing was crazy one-sided. Joey was head and shoulders. It wasn't even close because Nico was playing with a very poor team, and he wasn't playing much better, honestly. They were 0-4. All the coaches got fired. Deshaun Foster, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. And which is weird. You would think a head coach who was brought in with 0 head coaching experience and had never been a coordinator would flourish. But for some reason, that didn't happen at UCLA. So they've got an interim coach, and they brought in that new Heisel kid for offensive coordinator. He's doing a great job. But they've turned that thing around in 2 weeks. They're 2-4 now. And they beat Penn State, basically got James Franklin fired, even though they fired him the next week when he lost to Northwestern. And whooped up on Michigan State. I watched part of that game. Michigan State's offense was terrible. Ugh. Couldn't throw the ball. But anyway, here's how they did. Nico was 16 for 24, 180 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. That's really good. He didn't run the ball very much at all. I think 0.5 yards was his average. They put a spy on him, but he threw the ball fine. He didn't throw for a ton of yards, but they just didn't need a whole lot of offense, really. They ran the ball fine, and now they're looking good. So Nico had a very nice game, and he's turning this thing around for himself and getting himself off the shelf because he was not looking like he was even going to get drafted. Now I think he has a real good shot at getting drafted. And I'm not going to sit here and rip on him. If the guy plays well, I'm going to say it. When he plays bad, I'm going to say that too. Let's take a look at Joey Aguilar. Of course, they beat Arkansas. If they'd have kept the pedal to the metal, they'd have won easily, but we had to go into prevent offense and prevent defense for some reason. Joey was 16 for 25, 221 with 1 touchdown. He also ran the ball quite a bit, 5 for 59 yards, which was very beneficial. So he had a total of, 280 yards and 1 touchdown. So a good, really good, solid game out of Joey. We couldn't be more pleased. He's played terrific all year. We're 5-1. I wish we had the defense we had last year. We'd be 6-0 easily. But sometimes that's just not how it happens. It seems like we either have a really good offense, really good defense. We don't seem to put the two together. Now let's take a look at Nico's numbers for the year. He's got 1,134 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And again, he's 2-4. And who knows, if they keep playing really well, they might make a bowl game. Maybe they can get to 6 wins. Who knows? I didn't think they were going to win anything. Looked like they were heading to 0-12. But they got a chance now. And Joey's number at 1,680, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's playing fantastic. Really couldn't be more pleased with his play. And I got to go ahead and say it. Look, as far as his grade, if I was going to give him a grade, I'd have to give him an A+. Yeah, A+ for the season so far. I don't think there's any question. I would give Nico, he's gone from a D- to a C+ is where he is right now. I've got him to C+, and he's heading to a B if he keeps this up. Now, I can't ignore the first 4 games. You go 0-4 and you get beat by 2 group of 5, you're lucky to be at C+.
C+? C+?
Yeah, but look, C+ is a heck of an improvement, Nico. I'm being fair. Now, it would not be fair of me to not keep you up to date with Zach Anderson of Locked On UCLA. I showed him when they were struggling. Now, he's getting to crow a little bit, and I don't blame him. You beat Penn State, and then you beat Michigan State. You get to crow.
The Bruins have taken all the pressure off of Nico's shoulders, and the results have proven themselves. UCLA, in back-to-back wins, have put up 38-plus points in a game against Michigan State on the road, and despite the craziness with Penn State firing their coach and James Franklin, putting up 42 on Penn State is still a mighty achievement. A huge achievement for a UCLA offense that looked pretty pathetic in the first few weeks of the season, where they couldn't do anything against the Northwesterns on the road. They couldn't do anything consistently in the first half against UNLV or against New Mexico, when the Bruins looked somewhat lifeless as a football program. And then obviously against Utah, UCLA struggled early in the season. The keys for UCLA to unlocking Nico and an offense that was not just the little engine that maybe could do something. No, this is the engine that's been a sleeping giant apparently these last 2 weeks.
Look, I can't blame him. If I was in his position, I'd be crowing too. They have got him going in the right direction. They're being able to run the ball. The ability to run the ball takes a ton of pressure off a quarterback. And so he's starting to show a lot of that talent that's always been there. It's just he hadn't been able to harness it. But it's starting to show a little bit in these last 2 games. In the Penn State game, he showed he could really run. And we always knew he could run, but he did a great job against them with that. But then in this next one, they just ran the ball all over Michigan State. And Nico sprinkled in some real nice throws, and they handled them very easily. So as far as comparison goes, I thought last week was very similar. I would put Joey and Nico on about the same grade level for that one game. Joey against Arkansas, Nico versus Michigan State. But obviously, I already gave you the grades A+ and C+ for the year, which again, look, from D- to C+, great improvement by Nico. Joey continues to be A+, making really good decisions. What few interceptions he's had were not on him. Balls hit guys right in the hands, pop straight up, which is incredibly unlucky, and they get the interception. Joey's had one mistake where it was on him. The other one, a guy fell down. So I think he's playing terrific. 14 touchdowns, 1 interception on him. I can't ask for anything more than that, and we're 5-1. Look, he played an amazing game against Georgia. We score 41 points and don't win. That's on the defense. And we're just not as good. Those injuries to our key shutdown corners has changed how we play defense. We can't stop the run as easily because we can't leave 2 guys on an island. We have to help our cornerbacks. Jermod McCoy, we don't know if he's going to be back for the Alabama game. I just don't know. And, of course, our other cornerback, he's probably out for the year is what I'm understanding. Now, that's not been confirmed, but I would guess that. So it's going to be, a defense that's porous. We'll have to just fight, hopefully get some turnovers and somehow pull out a victory at Alabama. It's not going to be easy. I think we'll score, but I think they're going to score too. Ty Simpson's playing great. He kind of proves the point that, he was a 5-star coming out of Tennessee, if you'll remember back in the day, but he didn't get to play till this is like his 4th year. And that's what it takes sometimes for most quarterbacks when they come out. If you try to put him in as a freshman or a redshirt freshman, they're probably not going to look very good. It takes 2-3 years of being in a system and getting used to the speed of college football and figuring out how to read defenses because they throw everything at you. In high school, it's a piece of cake. It's just the best athletes. They just go out there and whoop up on everybody. In college, they fool you. They trick you. They disguise all their coverages. And it takes a while for these young guys to figure it out. I mean, look at all these 5-stars that they try to play as a freshman. They struggle like crazy. That kid up there in Michigan's, he's no good. Now, he might be good in a couple of years, but, they're paying him $11 million to go out there and throw for 130 yards. You've got Jackson Arnold at Auburn. He's not, I don't know if he's ever going to be ready. You look at Arch Manning has struggled, and this is his 3rd year. Nico struggled. DJ Lagway's had his struggles. I just don't know 5-stars the way to go. You're probably better off going and finding a guy that's played for 3 or 4 years, paying the money, a guy that's a proven winner, and a guy that knows how to move the ball, even if it's out of group of 5. That's kind of been proven with Joey. Here's a guy that was at Appy State. Guess what? You still got to be able to spin that rock at Appy State in order to have the touchdowns that he had. Sometimes you're better off with a very experienced player that knows what he's doing. Look at Diego Pavia. Nobody wanted him. He was a 1-star or a 2-star. Now, I don't even think he was a 1-star. I tell you, you're going to see with this NIL, people are going to quit risking money on the unknown and start paying money for the known. And I still think Joey's going to get another year. This is only his 3rd year in Division I, folks. All his other stuff was JUCO. I think he'll get another year. If he sues the NCAA, the federal judge had already said that Diego was going to win. And that's when the NCAA said, oh, okay, we'll go ahead and give him the year based on the virus year. They were going to lose, period, which meant no JUCO years would count. So I think Joey's going to get an extra year, which would be fantastic for Tennessee. I'm the bird in the hand type of guy. You give me a quarterback that can get it done every single week, I'm going to take that over the 2 in the bush every time. Anyway, if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's continue to cover all these big college sports stories. If you've not subscribed, boom, boom, and boom. Won't cost you a dime, help you get my videos. And right over here is the most recent video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy based on your viewing history. Something to do with the algorithm. I'm always battling the algorithm.